The studio lights blazed down on the set of Lorraine Kelly's morning show, casting a warm glow over the familiar couch where guests shared laughs and light-hearted banter. But today was different. The air crackled with tension as Piers Morgan, the controversial broadcaster known for his sharp tongue and unfiltered opinions, settled into his seat opposite the beloved host, Lorraine Kelly. She smiled warmly at first, her Scottish lilt welcoming him back to ITV after his dramatic departure from Good Morning Britain years ago. Piers, dressed in a crisp suit, leaned forward with that trademark smirk, ready to dive into discussions on current events, celebrity scandals, and his latest ventures. The conversation started innocently enough, with Lorraine asking about his new projects and how life had been since leaving the breakfast slot. Piers boasted about his freedom to speak his mind without network constraints, throwing in jabs at former colleagues and the media landscape. Lorraine nodded politely, but her eyes hinted at underlying reservations. As the segment progressed, they touched on sensitive topics like royal family dramas and political upheavals, where Piers' views often polarized audiences. Lorraine, ever the diplomat, tried to steer the chat towards positivity, but Piers pushed back, escalating his rhetoric. "Come on, Lorraine, you know the truth about these hypocrites," he boomed, his voice echoing through the studio. The audience murmured, sensing the shift. Lorraine interjected gently, "Piers, let's keep it civil. This is a morning show for everyone." But Piers, fueled by his passion, interrupted her, launching into a tirade about cancel culture and how he'd been unfairly treated in the past. The confrontation brewed slowly at first, with Lorraine attempting to laugh it off. But Piers' persistence wore thin. He accused the media of bias, pointing fingers at networks including ITV, which didn't sit well with the host. "You're part of the problem if you don't call it out," he declared boldly. Lorraine's expression hardened. She'd hosted countless guests but rarely faced such direct challenge on her own turf. The producers in the control room exchanged worried glances as the exchange heated up. Lorraine fired back, "Piers, this is my show, and I won't have you disrespecting the platform or the viewers." The audience gasped, the tension palpable. Piers leaned back, feigning shock but clearly enjoying the drama. He countered with anecdotes from his career, defending his style as necessary journalism. Lorraine pressed on, questioning his methods and their impact on public discourse. The back and forth intensified, voices rising, gestures becoming more animated. Piers slammed his hand on the armrest for emphasis, while Lorraine maintained her composure but with a steely edge. Behind the scenes, the floor manager signaled for a commercial break, but the segment overrun loomed. As the argument peaked over a particularly divisive issue, perhaps the latest celebrity feud or government policy, Piers crossed a line by personally critiquing Lorraine's interviewing style. "You've gone soft, Lorraine. Where's the fire I remember?" he quipped. That was the spark. Lorraine's face flushed, and she stood up abruptly. "That's enough, Piers. If you can't respect the boundaries, you can leave." The studio fell silent, the audience holding their breath. Piers, stunned for a moment, then chuckled dismissively. But Lorraine was serious. Security personnel appeared discreetly at the edges of the set, ready to escort if needed. Piers rose slowly, buttoning his jacket, muttering under his breath about free speech. As he walked off, the cameras captured every step, turning what was meant to be a friendly interview into morning TV gold or scandal, depending on the viewer. Lorraine composed herself, apologizing to the audience and smoothly transitioning to the next segment. But the buzz had begun. Social media erupted immediately, with hashtags trending worldwide. Fans divided. Some hailed Piers as a truth-teller, others praised Lorraine for standing her ground. The incident replayed on news channels, dissected by pundits. Piers later tweeted his side, claiming it was all in good fun, but insiders whispered of real friction. Lorraine's show ratings spiked, proving controversy sells. This wasn't the first time Piers stormed off or was asked to leave, recalling his GMB exit after clashing with Alex Beresford over Meghan Markle comments. History seemed to repeat, with Piers' fiery personality clashing against more measured hosts. The video script captures this drama in detail, narrating the build-up, the clash, and the aftermath without pause, immersing viewers in the chaos of live television. As the story unfolds, One can't help but wonder if such confrontations are scripted for views or genuine eruptions of ego. Either way, it made for unforgettable TV, etching another chapter in Piers Morgan's tumultuous career. Following the dramatic exit, the studio audience remained buzzing with whispers and shocked expressions as Lorraine Kelly regained her poise, flashing that reassuring smile that had endeared her to millions over decades. "Well, that was unexpected," she quipped lightly, drawing chuckles from the crowd and easing the tension. Behind the facade, however, the production team scrambled, phone lines lit up with viewer calls, and social media managers monitored the exploding online reactions. Piers, now backstage, fumed to his entourage about being silenced once again, quickly composing a series of tweets that would fuel the fire. "Kicked off Lorraine for telling the truth, typical ITV censorship," he posted, attaching a selfie from the green room. The internet divided swiftly. Supporters rallied with #StandWithPiers, while others backed #TeamLorraine, applauding her for not tolerating bullying. News outlets picked up the story, with headlines screaming Piers Morgan ejected from Lorraine after explosive row. Clips circulated virally, edited for maximum drama. Slow-motion walks, zoomed-in glares, and dramatic music overlays. Commentators analyzed body language, Piers' aggressive leaning, Lorraine's crossed arms signaling defense. Experts debated if this was a publicity stunt, given both stars' histories of on-air antics. Piers had previously walked off GMB in 2021 amid a heated debate on race and royalty, only to later launch his own show. Lorraine, known for her warmth, had rarely ejected guests, making this a rare spectacle. As the day progressed, interviews requests poured in for both. Piers appeared on rival channels, spinning the narrative as an attack on free expression. "Lorraine's a lovely lady, but she couldn't handle the heat," he told one host. Lorraine, in a post-show statement, emphasized respect. "Our show is about positive conversations. When that line is crossed, actions must be taken." Fans speculated on the root cause. Was it Piers' comments on her show format, or deeper rivalries? Rumors swirled of past off-air tensions, perhaps stemming from overlapping ITV schedules or differing journalistic ethics. The video delves deeper into their backgrounds. Piers, the tabloid editor turned TV firebrand, infamous for phone hacking scandals and celebrity feuds. Lorraine, the daytime queen, celebrated for authenticity and viewer connection. Their clash symbolized broader media shifts from confrontational to compassionate styles. Viewers replayed the moment Lorraine stood, her voice firm. "Piers, that's it. Time to go." His retort, "Fine, I don't need this anyway," echoed defiantly. The escort by security added humiliation, though Piers played it cool. Post-incident, ratings analysis showed a 30% viewership surge for Lorraine's slot, while Piers' social following grew by thousands. Merchandise ideas joked about, kicked off Lorraine t-shirts. Late-night shows parodied the scene, with comedians impersonating the duo's accents and mannerisms. The script explores psychological angles, Piers' need for controversy to stay relevant, Lorraine's protection of her brand's wholesomeness. As evening fell, apologies were exchanged privately, or so sources claimed, but publicly, the feud simmered. This event joined the annals of TV mishaps, like Oprah's interviews or Jerry Springer's brawls, but with British politeness cracked. The narrative continues, painting vivid pictures of the fallout, from family reactions to industry whispers. Piers' wife, Celia Walden, tweeted support, while Lorraine's husband stayed silent. Celebrities weighed in. Sharon Osbourne sided with Piers, calling it overreaction, while Susanna Reid, his former co-host, remained neutral. The video script weaves these elements into a compelling tale, highlighting how one confrontation can dominate headlines, reminding us of television's power to amplify personal clashes into global spectacles. In the end, both emerged stronger, their personas reinforced. Piers the rebel, Lorraine the guardian of civility. In the wake of the confrontation, media analysts dissected every frame of the footage, turning the incident into a case study for broadcast journalism ethics. Piers Morgan, ever the provocateur, capitalized on the buzz by announcing a special episode on his own platform, Uncensored, where he'd reveal the full story behind the kickoff. Teasers promised unfiltered rants and guest appearances from sympathetic figures. Meanwhile, Lorraine Kelly focused on her show's continuity, inviting feel-good guests the next day to restore the light atmosphere. Yet, the shadow lingered. Viewers tuned in hoping for mentions of the drama. Social media threads exploded with Mess appears photoshopped onto ejection seats. Lorraine as a stern schoolmarm. Hashtags like #Piers kicked off and #Lorraine stands strong trended for days. Public opinion polls showed a split. 45% felt Piers was wronged, 55% supported Lorraine's decision. Feminists praised her for asserting authority in a male-dominated industry, while free speech advocates decried it as suppression. The script narrates Piers' post-exit activities, a hurried press conference outside the studio, where he lambasted woke culture infiltrating morning TV. Reporters bombarded him with questions. Was it planned? Will you sue? He laughed them off. It's just telly, but truth hurts. Lorraine, in contrast, issued a classy statement via ITV. We value diverse opinions, but respect is paramount. Behind closed doors, network executives convened emergency meetings, weighing damage control versus exploiting the publicity. Ratings goldmine or PR nightmare. They opted for the former, leaking exclusive clips to tabloids. The Daily Mail ran front-page splashes, Piers vs. Lorraine, the showdown. With insider quotes, friends of both stars revealed tensions predated the show. Piers had criticized Lorraine's fluffy interviews and columns, while she viewed his style as divisive. The video explores their career arcs, Piers from CNN to tabloids, thriving on outrage, Lorraine from GMTV to her namesake show, building loyalty through empathy. The clash epitomized generational and stylistic divides in media. As the story builds, imagine the control room chaos during the live broadcast, directors yelling cut to commercial, but unable to due to timing. Floor staff hesitated, unsure if it was jest or genuine. Audience members later shared stories. It felt real. The air was electric. Piers' dramatic walk-off, head high, became iconic, remixed into viral videos with dramatic soundtracks. Lorraine's composure earned admiration, with women sharing empowerment stories. The script includes hypothetical dialogues from aftermath calls. Piers to his agent, "This is brilliant for bookings." Lorraine to producers, "Never again without ground rules." Legal teams reviewed contracts for breach clauses, but no actions followed. Instead, reconciliation rumors emerged weeks later. A joint charity appearance? Unlikely, but tantalizing. The narrative shifts to broader implications, how such events affect mental health in media, with Piers admitting in interviews vulnerability beneath bravado. Lorraine advocated for kinder TV. Viewers reflected on their consumption. Do we crave conflict? The video script poses these questions, blending drama with commentary, ensuring engagement through vivid recounting. As time passed, the incident faded but left legacies: stricter guest protocols on Lorraine, bolder content on Piers' shows. It underscored television's unpredictability, where scripts can derail into real-life theater. In retrospect, perhaps it was inevitable. Two strong personalities, one couch's sparks were bound to fly. The story concludes this paragraph with lingering intrigue. Did Piers plan the outburst for attention, or was Lorraine's patience genuinely exhausted? Mysteries that keep the audience hooked. Months after the fire ejection, the incident continued to reverberate through the entertainment industry, inspiring podcasts, documentaries, and even satirical skits on shows like Saturday Night Live. Piers Morgan leveraged the momentum to launch a book tour, titling his memoir Unsilenced: My Battles in Broadcast, with a chapter dedicated to the Lorraine clash, portraying it as a pivotal moment in his fight against mainstream media muzzling. Excerpts leaked: Lorraine's a gem, but that day, the truth was too hot to handle. Sales skyrocketed, topping bestseller lists. Lorraine Kelly, unfazed, received awards for her handling of difficult guests, including a BAFTA nod for daytime excellence. In acceptance speeches, she subtly referenced the event. TV is about connection, not confrontation. Fan mail poured in, praising her grace under pressure. The script vividly recreates public reactions, protests outside ITV studios by Piers supporters, chanting "Free Piers." Counter-demonstrations lauded Lorraine's boundary setting. Online forums debated endlessly: was it sexism, with a male guest challenging a female host, or just personalities clashing? Psychologists weighed in on talk shows, analyzing aggression in media. The video narrative includes fictionalized extensions. What if Piers had stayed? Would apologies mend fences? Instead, the kickoff amplified their brands. Piers' viewership on his digital platform surged 40%, attracting advertisers keen on edgy content. Lorraine's show saw demographic shifts, drawing younger audiences intrigued by the drama. Collaborations arose indirectly. Piers guested on similar shows, referencing the incident for laughs. Lorraine interviewed conflict resolution experts. The story delves into personal lives, Piers spending time with family, reflecting on career sustainability. Lorraine enjoying quiet evenings, steadfast in her approach. Media training sessions evolved, using the clip as a what not to do example. Aspiring hosts studied Lorraine's calm assertiveness. The script incorporates global perspectives. American outlets compared it to The View's heated panels. Australian media hailed it as proper British teledrama. Translations of clips went viral in non-English markets, with subtitles amplifying the accent's charm. As anniversaries approached, retrospectives aired. 1 year since Piers-Lorraine exit, both stars declined joint interviews, maintaining distance. Rumors of a scripted reunion special circulated, but denied. The narrative builds suspense around potential future encounters at awards shows or charity events. Imagine the awkward red carpet, forced smiles, quick hellos. The video script uses this to explore forgiveness in public, i.e. hard when egos and audiences demand drama. Deeper, it questions authenticity. Are on-air personas real, or performances? Piers' bravado masks insecurities. Lorraine's warmth hides steel. Viewers connect, seeing reflections of workplace conflicts. The paragraph extends with cultural impact, songs parodying the event, like storming off the set merchandise from enterprising fans. Legals noted no defamation suits, as words stayed within debate bounds. Instead, mutual respect simmered beneath rivalry. In interviews, Piers admitted admiration, Lorraine's tough respect. She reciprocated. Piers keeps things lively. The script ties this to media evolution. From polite chats to raw exchanges, driven by social media feedback. Algorithms favor controversy, rewarding such moments. As the tale wins, ponder long-term effects. Did it change behaviors? Piers toned down slightly on his show. Lorraine vetted guests more. Yet, the allure of unpredictability remains TV's draw. This chapter of the script captures enduring fascination, ensuring the video holds attention through layered storytelling, blending fact with dramatic flair. Years later, the Piers Morgan-Lorraine Kelly confrontation became legendary in TV lore, referenced in Hall of Fame compilations alongside iconic moments like David Letterman's feuds or Ellen's surprises gone wrong. Documentaries chronicled the day morning TV exploded, interviewing crew, audience, and experts. Piers, now a media mogul with his empire expanded to podcasts and streaming, often laughed about it in monologues. Best publicity I never paid for. Lorraine, retiring gracefully but still popping up as a guest expert, shared anecdotes in her autobiography, My Life on the Couch, describing the event as a blip in an otherwise joyful career. The script imagines alternate histories. What if security hadn't intervened? A full-blown debate might have ensued, boosting ratings further. Instead, the abrupt end left viewers wanting more. Legacy effects included policy changes at ITV, mandatory pre-interview agreements on topics, sensitivity training for hosts. Piers' platform thrived on anti-establishment vibe, attracting guests shunned elsewhere. Lorraine's show evolved, incorporating more viewer interactions to foster positivity. The narrative explores emotional tolls, Piers admitting in therapy sessions, hypothetically, the adrenaline addiction. Lorraine confiding to friends the stress of confrontation. Support groups for TV personalities emerged, citing such incidents. Culturally, it inspired theater plays off the stage dramatizing the clash with actors mimicking accents. Film adaptations rumored, with A-listers vying for roles. The video script uses flashbacks, pre-show preparations, Piers hyping himself, Lorraine reviewing notes. Tension builds in green room chit-chat, foreshadowing explosion. During the row, key lines replay, Piers, you're dodging the issue. Lorraine's "enough's enough." The walk-off, slow and deliberate, symbolizes defiance.